What's happening, fellas? Crazy Brit here, ready for some more action. This time it's round 4 of the MRC Endurance Championship from Trial Mountain. Now we should have started in the daytime, I think it was, afternoon, but there is a bug with Trial Mountain, so it went dark during qualifying and stayed dark throughout the race, unfortunately. But let's see how the grid lines up for this week's race. So, Infinity James got the pole. He starts on the medium tyres in the Alpha. Then we have the first of the Subarus, Phil. He's starting on the soft tyres. Third place, Berserker Boy. Got a good qualifying. He starts in third place on the soft tyres in that Genesis. And then the second Genesis, pretty good qualifying from him as well as Blackie. He's starting on soft tyres also. Then we have Dinky. Really good livery and really good qualifying from him. He's in the Ferrari. He starts on soft tyres as well. Then we have old Big Will. He's filling in for Dinky's teammate. He starts on the soft tyres in the second Ferrari. Then we have Welly Bob, the only Nissan this week, as Sean Daniels is still away, and he starts on the soft tyres. Then we have another soft tyre runner, Brucey, another 8th place. Wonder if he can get a good start like last week. He starts on the soft tyres as well. Then we got the second Alpha. He starts, it's MacGyver. He's starting on 9th place and he's starting on the soft tyres. So different strategy from his teammate. Then we have Gus, who they've now changed to Lamborghini from Toyota, and he starts in 10th on the soft tyres. Then we have Fast Jims, first of the two Megans. He's starting on the medium tyres. And then we have Ricky J. He starts on the medium tyres as well. So let's get this race underway then and see how they get away from the grid. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go. You'll get a pretty good launch. Oh, there's been a little bit of issues going in the back because Brucey gets a good start, gets behind somebody else. Let's see how they get through the first couple of corners. So we've got Infinite James leading the way from Phil, followed by Berserker Boy, and Bruce is up into 4th already as they come down in through the tunnel turn. Looking pretty well from Infinite James. He's definitely just going again. He's trying to break away from the rest of the pack. How they end into the next couple of corners. This corner can be a bit tricky, especially if you hit the walls. You've got to be careful of them. The fuel's flashing already because we started with 10% fuel, so people can go 1 or 2 laps before pitting as we now head into the long straight. Let's go back to the start of the race and let's see Bruce's launch. So riding on board with Brucey. 5 lights, and away we go. So he tries to go to the left. Oh, Big Will moves to the left as well, blocks him off. So he goes to the middle. Really good fucking reaction time there. Sorry about swearing, but that was amazing. So now he's trying to get past Berserker Boy. He got past MacGyver, who got a good launch as well from 9th up to 5th. There is a bit of lag there. Almost like he had a screen freeze or something. MacGyver's dancing around all over the track. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there between Phil and Berserker Boy. Do they get damaged? No, they don't. But Bruce is already on the inside of his teammate. Gets that pass done. Does his teammate come past at him? Back at him, sorry. He's got that inside line. They're gonna, but no. Brucey makes it into 3rd through the tunnel. Now he's going to mount a charge on Berserker Boy. So look down the field then. Dinky's up into 4th. Followed by MacGyver and Phil. Phil's down to 6th now. 5th, sorry. 5th and 6th. Side by side with MacGyver. Let's see what these two do in the corner. So Phil takes the inside line. MacGyver goes wide off the corner and Phil managed to get the place off of MacGyver then. Gus now up into 7th. He's doing pretty well in that Lamborghini. Welly Bob into 8th. Old Big Will down to 9th after that start. Fast Jim's in 10th. Blackie down to 11th. Wonder what happened to him. And Pink Ricky J is in 12th. Back up to the front, and we've got Infinity James coming in the pits. Berserker Boy's going for another lap. So is Phil. everybody in the pits then. Ricky J has gone past the pits as well. So we've got Berserker Boy leading the way in first. Second is Phil. Third is Willy Bob. Then it's Fast Jims, Blackie and Ricky J. Everyone else is in the pits. So let's see who comes out in the pits first. Still waiting for the cars to come. Should be Infinity James that comes out in 7th. Infinity James is on the medium still, he's just getting fuel. There's Brucey getting fuel as well. It's going to be close between the two. Brucey stopped fueling already. So Brucey gets out in front of Infinite James, then gets long last fuel, but there's Infinite James already trying to mount an attack on the back of him. We're running on lap 2. Oh, Brucey's got a 5.5 second penalty there. Must have cut the corner a little bit too much. He's spreading out in front. Can James get the pass done on him as we come now to the twisted section into the tunnel? There's all Big Will behind him in 9th place, effectively 3rd when the other guys have pitted. We'll come back to this in a bit, but we're back up to the front. Berserker Boy still leading the way, and you can see a sliver of fuel that's left there now. That's going to be slightly worrying. Can he make it to the pits in time? We're coming down now for the last section, so Berserker Boy's going to pit. So is Phil, he's got a sliver of fuel. Willy Bob is pretty much on nothing, he's on fumes. Fast Jim, see where he goes. He's got a sliver of fuel, so he's coming in the pits, as is Blackie and Ricky J. Bruce has still got a 1/2 second penalty, still in the way from James. As they're coming now down for the last couple of turns. He's probably going to lose this place to James as they come across the penalty line. Now GT7, there's a designated penalty line if you didn't know. So you can't take the penalty when you want, you have to take it at the designated area. Gets the turning on the curb, moves off the racing line and saves his penalty. Still behind him though, still there. So it's Bruce's turn to follow him for around now. As Infinity James, Blackie comes out in oh, he didn't pit. So Blackie went for another lap. Lap 3. He's got a little bit of damage there, so he's going to be starting to lose time to the other guys, but he must have been fuel saving like a proper fuel saving person. So we got Infinity James then chasing down Blackie in the second place and starting to set purple sectors. Bruce has got another 1/2 second penalty. Now he's got his teammate behind him in 4th. They're both on the soft tyres, so I think they may be going for the 2-stop, or they may go for softer mediums. Oh, Big Will now up into 5th place. Then we got Berserker Boy now into 6th. Then we got this gangle of cars. We've got Willy Bob leading this gangle from MacGyver. Then we've got Gus and Dinky. He also got some damage. Then we've got Fast Jims in 11th and Ricky J in 12th. Back up to the front then, I'm guessing Blackie needs to pit this lap. He cannot surely go another lap now. Yep, there he goes into the pits. So Blackie comes into the pits to make his pit stop. That's going to allow James and Brucey and Phil to be the top 3. Bruce is probably going to lose that place to his teammate though for the penalty. Second penalty in this, well, it might be the 3rd penalty in this race, who knows, we haven't really seen him, but he's got to stop getting them penalties. So he moves off the racing line again, lets his teammate through, and Old Big Will is there in 4th, looming, but doesn't quite catch up to him. So now let's see what Phil can do. Can Phil mount a charge onto James? James still leading the way, sorry. The Subarus just look very composed around this track, as does the Alpha of James, but the Subarus are mighty around this track, especially with a long back straight as well through the tunnel. The Alpha does get a little bit of speed when it goes through the tunnel. Let's ride on board actually. Listen to that sound, absolutely immense. So it's only getting up to 120 when these guys are like nearly 140 already. Coming down the hill is maxing out at 148. These guys are like 150s, so definitely a big difference there, and obviously they can continue this momentum up the hill after that bank turn. Coming now through these, they look like tricky corners, but you don't actually brake that much for them, so it's this last corner that can be a little tricky. Did notice with the Subaru you can lose the back end if you're not careful with this corner. You need to be careful not cutting that too much, and Phil gets off second penalty. He's going to have to save it on the next lap because it was too close to the penalty line. And Phil sets a new fastest lap, 1:58.8. So Bruce is still in third, then chasing these two down. Big Will still in fourth. He's lagging behind a bit now. There's Berserker Boy just coming over the line. He's in fifth place, followed by MacGyver in sixth. Then we got Gus in seventh, following MacGyver through. Now we've got Welly Bob leading the way from Dinky and Fast Jims, and then we got Ricky J in 11th. Blackie, oh, we lost Blackie. Don't know where Blackie went, but we have lost him. That's a shame because he was doing well. Oh, a little bit of a slide from Brucey there. So, Bill's still got a penalty then. He's going to have to save that now on this lap. The question is, will he lose the place to a teammate? He's approaching. Oh, he's approaching. James is going to go for an overtake. Didn't realise he was that close, but there you go. There's Phil up into first now. Then he got the jump on James. Is Brucey going to be able to do anything and follow his teammate through? Let's come down through the twisted section uphill, then we go downhill through the right-hander. And we've got a little left-hander before the pits, up to the final chicane. He's going to save that penalty, so let's see where James is going to go. We'll ride on board with him. Got Brucey right behind him. Can he get the jump as Phil takes his penalty? This is going to be close. There's a couple of things there. He gets up to speed. Bruce is not going to be able to get a pass done on him, so Phil's back into second, so not really any change from that. It's getting close between Brucey and Phil though now. Brucey just lagging behind a little bit, just easing off. Tyres aren't looking too bad after after 5 laps, now the 6th lap. Phil's all over the shot there, he gets a little bit squirrely. Brucey just sits behind him going through the next couple of corners. Got a blue sector. Run this tricky corner now into the tunnel section. Phil's got to be close enough if he can get the good exit out of this corner, which he does. Look at that rocket ship out of the corner. Surely he should be able to get James at the end of this straight now. Yep, He's definitely close. Is he going to go for an overtake? It looks like he is sizing up. He's on the inside. He's gone into the corner. There's Brucey. He's making an attack now. Now his teammate's gone through. He's on the charge. He's right behind James. All three of them under a blanket. You can't separate these three as they carve their way through the mountains and the wood. Now through the little left kink, down to the chicane. Telling you that the composure from these three guys over the last races has been immense. Every week they're always battling each other on track at some point. So Phil still in the way then, Infinite James still in second. Brucey in third, still trying to find a way past James. Just biding his time. We'll check around the rest of the grid. So we got Oh Big Will still in fourth place. Berserker Boy in fifth place still. Followed by MacGyver in sixth, who managed to close that gap up to him now. Then we have Gus in seventh place. Down to Welly Bob in eighth. Coming across the line now. And then we have Dinky coming across the line, he's in 9th place still. Then we got Fast Jims in 10th and Ricky J in 11th. So coming through the short tunnel before we get to the back straight. Phil leading the way still, followed by James in second. But it's closing up between him and Brucey now. Can Brucey do anything on this straight? Look at that. Absolute superb livery. Number 24, Angelka. He does love his NASCAR liveries, Brucey. And every time they do look really, really good. There he goes on the inside then. He takes a shallow line on the inside. And managed to get Infinity James on the exit. But now Infinity James all over his back bumper. Still looming through the darkness as we head now down to the chicane. Infinity James just biding his time now. Can he get anything done? There's no penalty this time from Marshall, Brucey, sorry. So head now down the main straight. Brucey still managed to keep James at bay behind him as we now head through these fast couple of turns. We've got the quick left, then we've got quick right over the hump. Head down to the next corner, which is a slightly banked left corner. Get on the exit, go through the tunnel. Don't need too much braking through here. Get the inside line, power out the end. Now down to this tricky little twisty section. You don't want to hit them walls. Coming through the tunnel now. Oh, what happened there? Oh, that was serious. Like, let's have a quick look at what happened there. So you can see going over James. You see Brucey right in front, coming out the exit of the tunnel, and all of a sudden, Infinite James appears, did a magic trick, and is now in front of Brucey. That is the one problem about GT7 lobbys that is really, really annoying. Sometimes you get a screen freeze like Brucey did, and all of a sudden James appeared in second and Brucey's back in third, but now he's completely on the charge. Almost touching the rear bumper of James there. That was pretty close. He's come now through the twisted section, so he's not let the lag hamper him, but the soft tyres are waning a little bit. Probably going to come in the pits in about 2 or 3 laps maybe. Still on the bumper of James. He looks to the inside, doesn't decides not to go for the inside line for the chicane. He's round the back bumper of them. Is he going to try and nip into turn 1? So coming through the straight then, coming to turn 1, Bruce is still behind James, just biding his time, sitting there. Oh, did he cut that corner too much? Nope, it appears not. So we go for the tunnel section then, following the inside line. James still leading the way in second from Brucey. Phil now just driving away from these two as these two are battling, but they're still about there. Interesting. On that shot it looked like James had no headlights whatsoever. So go through the tunnel section now. We'll go to the other guys in a minute. Just watch this battle because this is where it's at. This is the battle for second place. So we're on board with James. Looking at James's nice livery from the side there. Still got the Queen tribute on there. Brucey decides to go to the outside this time. They're neck and neck going down the straight. Brucey looks like he's got the pass done, but Infinite James is on the inside. Brucey goes all the way around the outside. Does he get the exit done? He does. I think James allows him to have that corner. Great sportsmanship there. So now come through the little twisted section before the next little kink to the left. Now down to the pit straight. Does any of these two cars pit? No. So coming through the chicane then. Bruce is still in second after taking that place from James through the straight. No penalties here. So now we have a 1-2 for Subaru. So coming back down the field then. We've got Big Will in 4th. He's oh baby, that was close to the wall there. He's lacking a bit on fuel there on the racing soft tyres, so he is going to probably have to pit this lap. We've got Berserker Boy. Half a tank of fuel on the racing medium still. Likewise with Guyver, he's on the racing mediums. He must have switched to racing mediums then in his pit stop. That's why he fell down the field a little bit, because he did start on the soft tyres. A little bit of lag coming from his cars, nudging from side to side. Let's come for the pit stop. Both of these cars got the yellow headlights then. And now for a little twisted section. Still buffeting. There's Gus in 7th, still having a pretty good race, decent race on the soft tyres. They're pretty similar to Bruce's tyres actually, soft tyres. There's Wally Bob on the mediums, doing well in 8th place. It's coming through the tunnel turn. And we've got Fast James on the medium tyres. 9th place, Ricky J on the medium tyres in 10th. Not really seen much Ricky this race. Been skulking around in the back. And there's 11, Dinky, 11th. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. He's way back. Another tricky race for Dinky then it seems. But Phil then we coming onto a lap 11. And Phil looks like he may be pitting. There's Big Will pitting from the soft tyres. So he's decided to not chance another lap on that low fuel. So Phil managed him to break away now from the other two. Definitely going to have to pit this lap, I'd say, though. His tyres do look rough. Brucey likewise. He may come in and pit this lap. He's got considerably more fuel than his teammate. James still on just under half a tank of fuel on those racing mediums still, so he shouldn't be pitting. So MacGyver now up into 4th. He's got past Berserker Boy. Obviously inherited 4th place because Big Will pitted. Berserker Boy is still behind him though. Pretty decent actually. Berserker Boy's got less of tyres and fuel, but pretty much the same. There's Gus on the soft tyres still. He's now up into 6th place. Looks like he's catching the other two a little bit. And there's Welly Bob in 7th, just a turn away from Gus. Flash Jim's in 8th. Still just plodding along. Old Big Will now down to 9th then, so he's on fresh softs and got more fuel. There's Ricky J in 10th, and Dinky's been in the pits then. He's got soft tyres and hard tank fuel. So let's see what the top guys do then. Phil's just coming round the last corner before the pit lane. Is he going to pit? Looks like he's taking a deep, shallow inside line, sorry. Yep, there's Phil going in the pits. Brucey doesn't pit, he goes through for another lap, so interesting strategy from the Subaru boys then. I wonder if he's doing that to maybe get the undercut on James, possibly. It's definitely going to be close when Brucey does pit and then James pits. It's neck and neck still. We'll have to see what happens with that. But Brucey's got to be careful on this lap. He doesn't want to lose that right front tyre too much, or he's going to be dead in the water. So Vinny James following him through still. Phil's in the pits, still just getting his tyres on. Needs to get some fuel. And he's out of the pits, 50% of fuel, just over half a tank, and he comes out in 7th place. So Welly Bob and Gus have just gone past. So we've got MacGyver now in 3rd place. There's still a sizable gap between the top two, but he's definitely doing a good job. He got a bit of damage on the front. That may hinder him just a little bit. Berserker Boy may catch up to him a little bit. So Gus now up into 5th then. He's still on the soft tyres, hasn't pitted yet. Welly Bob on the medium tyres in 6th place. Then we have Phil, he's in 7th. He's going to mount a charge now onto these guys. Fast Jim's in 8th place, still on those medium tyres. Old Big Will now trying to do his best to catch up to Fast Jim's on those soft tyres. Pretty nice delivery as well from the Ferrari there. Very nice Ferrari red livery. Ricky J now to 10th, still lagging behind a little bit. He's just enjoying himself, he knows he's not fast. So we got Brucey up into 2nd then. Oh, sorry, Darren into 2nd, pitted on lap, end of lap 11, on lap 12 now. So now James can just continue, focus on his laps and build a sizable gap. So obviously Brucey and Phil are going to have to do some work now. There's MacGyver going to 2nd place. Sorry about that, a quick drink. So, like I said, MacGyver now is up into 2nd place as Bruce is still in the pits. That's going to allow Berserker Boy to go into 3rd as Bruce gets his tyres fitted. Where's Gus going to go? Gus is now into 4th. Bruce is going to come out in 7th place behind his teammate. So not much difference between his teammate. His teammate did get a little bit of a jump on him though, so looked like the early pit stop worked. But Bruce is still there, just right behind them. Coming through the tunnel. Let's see how if Phil can get past Welly Bob and dispatch him quickly. He goes around the outside of him on the next corner and looks like he's going to get the inside line for the next corner. Welly Bob just backs out of it, lets him pass, he's on the quicker tyre. So the next target for Phil is Gus, he's just in the tunnel now. Berserker Boy's up into 3rd, after the rest of the pitted is on their medium tyres. MacGyver in 2nd, following his teammate now. Quite a bit of ways from his teammate though. Vinny James still in the way. through the chicane. Quick left, right, and back onto the main straight. Start another lap. This race is about, I think, about 30 laps, nearly to 30 laps, maybe 29 laps. Come across the line, it's half a second slower than his fastest time. And McGavin now coming through the chicane. Still a little bit of jumping about going on, but it looks like he's having a good time. I think he had an issue with his internet on the night, couldn't be in the party chat, but he's still doing well. And he's only nearly second a bit off, a tenth and a bit off his fastest time. There's Berserker Boy going through, 7/10 off his time. Gus now coming through and fourth. There's Phil and Welly Bob. So Welly Bob following, but here comes Brucey. He's going to try and mount an attack then on Welly Bob. A little bit of time has passed since his teammate did it, but he's still thereabouts. Oh, goes on the inside line. Can he get the drive off to get past Welly Bob? It looks like they're going to go side by side through the next section. This is going to be tricky at best. So they're leaving space to each other. They go through side by side through this twisted section. There's Brucey leaving as much space as possible on the inside he can, and he just gets the momentum out of the corner, gets the inside line for the next corner, coming out of the tunnel, and he's into the tunnel straight in 6th place. Great racing from the two boys there. So Phil in 5th, now trying to chase down Gus, who's in 4th, coming out of the tunnel. Looks like he's going to have to pit in the next couple of laps, maybe this lap. Not so much on fuel, it's more on his tyres. But it's getting close between these two boys now. As they come now through the twisted section. Is Gus going to go for another lap? That is the question. I think he might. Go for another lap. Lamborghini doesn't seem to be too hard on his tyres. Yep, he goes for another lap then. So Gus now is probably going to come under attack from Phil. He's got to be careful on those tyres. Brucey just coming through the chicane now, so lagging behind his teammate a bit. Let's go back up to the top. And Jim's still in the way. He's got a sizable gap to his teammate. Still putting in those good laps. Just focusing on managing his tyres and managing his fuel now to eke them out. We're almost to the halfway mark, to the 30-minute mark, so he's done pretty good so far. Likewise with MacGyver, not much difference. MacGyver's got a bit more fuel and a bit more tyre wear left, so Berserker Boy in 3rd then. His front right is suffering a little bit, so he's probably going to be coming in the pits soon. Gus needs to come in the pits this lap. He's probably going to come under attack now from Phil in the pits. Yep, there he is. There's Phil getting a good launch off that corner. He's got the momentum. Now getting the slipstream of Gus. Gus goes defensive on the inside. Lets off the gas a little bit to let Phil past. Great racing there. He knows he hasn't got the tyres. He knows he's probably going to have to come in the pit, so he's not going to slow either of them down. And Phil now is up into 4th after the pit stop then. He's making good progress. Brucey in 6th place, still lagging behind a little bit, but he should get this 5th place after. Skidding then. Should be in 5th place after Gus pits on this lap now. There he goes into the pits. That's going to allow Brucey up into 6th. Welly Bob is probably going to be in 6th place now. Fast Jim's going to be in 7th. He's not too far behind. Then we got Old Big Will in 9th currently. Ricky J in 10th, just coming down the back straight. And Dinky coming through the first few turns. Got to be careful. He's going to be lapped from James pretty soon. But James now coming through the short tunnel before we get to the back straight. Car thunder through the tunnel, absolutely beautiful noise. But he's still got pretty good tyre life. Shouldn't imagine he would need to come in the pits on this lap as he comes through the back turn. Coming now into the last sector, he's only half a second slower. The guy we're coming through the tunnel now. What a beautiful sound through the tunnel, absolutely beautiful. Coming Phil now, popping and banging through the tunnel. There's Berserker Boy in fourth. And Brucey now in fifth. Is he going to be able to mount an attack on Berserker Boy? Is Berserker Boy coming in the pits this lap? Will he go for another lap? Now Brucey needs... ideally want him to come in the pits this lap so he doesn't hold him up, but we shall see what happens. There's Bruce, he's skidding around the corner there, just getting a little bit of drift on. Berserker Boy doesn't pit then, okay, so Bruce is going to have to try and get an overtake done on Berserker Boy. Pretty much right there, coming through the chicane now. This is pretty much the only battle going on track. So we've got a pit stop from Dinky then. So Berserker Boy is still in the way. Let's go on board with him actually. Why is there no cockpit view? Okay, that's weird. It's pretty weird from the, I think there's no interior view on the Genesis on the replay, I guess. So we've got Brucey going to the inside, thinks better of it. Berserker Boy shuts the door. Coming to the next twisty section now, we'll follow on with Brucey. Actually, we'll go cockpit view with Brucey. There we go, popping and banging, and listen to that turbo noise. Decides to back out of it through that corner. Can he get the good launch through this turn? Now gonna get slipstream, get the top speed. The gear changes. Wine up the trans box. Sorry. 4-wheel drive power. As James comes into the pits then from the medium tyres. See the headlights in the rear view mirror from Bruce's view. He gets the move done on Berserker Boy. Berserker Boy is definitely going to be hurting on those tyres now. Yep, he's hurting on those medium tyres. Oh, we did have a car view then. Don't know what happened there. So MacGyver up into first. He goes for an extra few laps. Phil in second, he's going to come around where Berserker Boy's in the pits then, he's on, come on for the main tyres. Where's James going to come out? Just getting his tyres now. Phil should definitely take him on the, get into second place. There's MacGyver going through first turn, there's Phil. Brucey is just coming past. So he did get the jump on Infinite James then. James is on the soft tyre now. Should definitely be able to catch. Should definitely be able to catch Brucey. He had the speed on the medium tyres, so on the soft tyres he should be rapid on these tyres. This car has immense, overpowered corner speed, especially in the mid-corner. You can just power out, carry the speed through. So it should, hands down, definitely be at least one of the Subarus. Phil's on an absolute charge. He's catching up with Guyver, who's in first, who definitely needs to pit this lap. His tyres are okay, but the fuel is not so great. But pretty good job from Guyver, considering that on the first lap everyone mostly took fuel and he took tyres. To swap his strategy out and go on the medium tyres. There he goes into the pits then from first place. That's gonna let Phil inherit the first place position. Coming to the last 20-ish minutes now. We'll need to pause this broadcast soon. Just for a quick break. So we got Phil leading the way in first, Brucey coming along in second, but there's James. Told you it won't take him long to catch up to Brucey. That car is just immense, and the driver that's driving that car is also pretty good on in the car as well. He's got pretty good speed. So we go down to fourth, which is Willie Bob back up to fourth place, should I say? Sorry, he's done a good job, but he's going to lose fourth place on this ending of this lap because he's going to pit. Those tyres don't look too great. Going to get fuel as well. Oh, Big Will's probably going to have to pit as well. His fuel is definitely not going to enter the end of the race for another 22 minutes. So MacGyver down into 6th place now, still in a good position. And we got Gus now in 7th place after his pit stop, but he's on a soft tyre, so he's going to be able to mount the charge. Likewise, Berserker Boy's gone medium again. So interesting strategy from the Genesis guy then. Fast James comes out of the pits and he's in 9th place. He's now on the soft tyres. Ricky J coming through, he doesn't pit yet. And Dinky is sat in the pits, and I think that may be a retirement, or he's been there for nearly 6 minutes now, so not sure what's happening there, maybe a technical issue. So back up to the front then, Phil still in the way, he's got a sizable gap. Brucey in second, still in the way from Infinity James, but James is getting there. He's looks like he could be a danger on this next lap. On lap 20. See after how it has to pan out, but Bruce, it looks like he's going to have to pit again. I don't think those soft tyres will last another 20 minutes. So Infinity James chasing Brucey. There's old Big Will in the pits. Willie Bob is going for another lap. Pretty risky on those tyres and that fuel, but I'm sure he can do it. So MacGyver, is he going to come through in 5th? Oh, Big Will's still not there, so yeah, definitely, he's definitely going to come through in 5th place. Is Gus going to get him? Oh, Big Will's still not there yet. So I think Gus is going to come through and he's going to take 6th place then, as Berserker Boy in 7th. Fast Jim's 9th, where's... All Big Will still in 7th, just getting service now, getting the fuel. And he comes out in 8th place. Fast Jim's just going on the straight now. We'll go back up to the front, because Brucey is a long way away from Infinite James now. Let's see what happened there. Oh, he's got damage as well. Definitely going to have to see what happened there. Right, so we're neck and neck. So Bruce is in 2nd place. He's going to go on board with James. Oh, Jesus! Holy crap! We're going to have to go on board with Brucey for this one, because this is a hard hit, so there's lag. And then out of nowhere, Brucey appears there, and boom. Boom! Look at that hit! Oh my god! Managed to recover it quickly, but that was a hit and a half. James has only got bumper damage, but Bruce has got engine damage. You can almost hear the crackling of the engine. Doesn't sound good after that hit. So another big accident then. We had a big accident at Catalonia between Welly Bob and Berserker Boy. Now we've had one between James and Brucey, but yeah, that was all like there. Nothing James could have done. It just appeared out of nowhere, stopped out of nowhere, and boom, straight into the wall. Definitely an issue with the lobbies after that. Should save that footage actually and send it into Polyphony, because they really need to get that bloody fixed. But as Phil pits, then Infinity James is coming through and doesn't need to pit. So Infinity James assumes the lead again. Phil's in the pit. I think Brucey decides to pit as well. Yeah, there we go. He decides to pit. Needs the fuel and tyres anyway. He's got damage, but that's good. Definitely going to cost him, because Welly Bob is now in the pits as well from second place. Does he come in to get? Let's just stop. There's Phil. There's Brucey not stopped yet. Welly Bob's still waiting, but Phil's there. He's getting serviced, and out of the pits he goes. Brucey just arrived to his pit stop now. Welly Bob's still waiting. He's getting serviced now. So pit lane is a little bit busy at the minute. So we got James in first then. Long ways down from second and third. Phil is in second, followed by MacGyver in third. So this might be a close race to the end between these two. Brucey now down to 6, so he's going to have to get past Berserker Boy and Gus, and then try and mount a charge and try and catch up the third and second place. So he's going to be in recovery mode now then after that massive hit. He's right on Berserker Boy's back bumper again, but this is the point. Berserker Boy is on medium tyres, so Brucey should be able to mount a charge to Berserker Boy and get this pass done. But I'm going to have to make a quick break here, and I shall be back in a second.